It's been a perennial playoff matchup in the USL Championship's Eastern Conference in years past. Tonight in Louisville, Kentucky, Slugger Field playing host to New York Red Bulls 2 and Louisville City FC. It's a matchup that in the East, everybody's going to have their eye on this weekend. Tonight's pregame brought to you by Four Roses Bourbon with Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts on hand. You know, Matt, when you look at the Eastern Conference standings, Louisville City has struggled out of the gate, but found their way back into the playoff picture, and they could avoid that first-round playoff game. That's a really big deal.
It is a huge deal. Try and find a way to get a bye in the first round. Find a way to get 3 points tonight against Red Bulls 2, who are looking over their shoulders at Indy 11. And both teams tonight want that 3 points, one to leap into sixth place if results go their way, the other to maybe get some breathing room.
Well, Red Bulls 2 have been phenomenal this year. They sit in first. If Louisville is to upset them tonight, our player with the most potential is sponsored by Corsair Charities, showing children their potential instead of their obstacles since 1923. All eyes on Magnus Rasmussen.
He's a wonderful player. Louisville have been creating chances all year, but it's Rasmussen that's found a way to consistently put it into the back of the net for the home team. He's got a wonderful ability with his left foot, technically gifted, and has found a way to get really involved in this tough season.
Well, Rasmussen, after a really strugglesome year a year ago, has seen his form explode. He's got double-digit goals, and he's going to look to play a critical role tonight against New York Red Bulls 2. Red Bulls 2 feel like they're defending better. They picked up 3 wins in their last 4. They're still first in the standings, but here comes Louisville, as always late in the season, looking like world beaters. Matchup you're going to want to miss coming up next.
It's a simple truth. There is no better place than where you are right now. Celebrate the moment. Feed the wolf.
Hi, welcome to Toyota's
National Clearance Event.
Yes, now's the time to get a great deal on
The last of the 2019s.
Huh, I'm impressed. But the deals will only last until
September 3rd.
What am I thinking now?
Get the greater than ever 2020 Corolla with $1,000 cash back, or a low mileage lease for $169 a month, or lease this sporty and aggressive 2019 Camry for $209 a month.
Save on the last of the 2019s.
Coming today!
Okay, what's up?
Toyota, let's go places.
We are those searching the unlimited, the unrestrained. Those that understand that life is a pursuit. Feed the wolf.
Since 1923, Corsair Charities has shown children their potential instead of their obstacles, so they see the world as a place of possibility, where great things can take flight. When you support Corsair Charities, you help elevate every aspect of a child's life. Together, our kids, an entire community, can reach new heights. There's so much more to do. Join us by donating today.
I trust you are enjoying yourself, my sweet.
Magnificent party, darling. How do you pull it off?
The usual, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome, Chad. Beautiful. I have the best people. Liquor Barn, where Kentuckians go to celebrate life. Cheers.
Well, it's Saturday night and I just got paid. My heart say go, go. Have time cause it's Saturday night. Now I'm feeling fine. I'm gonna rock it up. I'm gonna rip it up. I'm gonna shake it out. Gonna ball it up. I'm gonna rock it up and ball tonight.
Now, get a Ford Ranger with 0 for 60 plus 1,000 cash back plus an additional 1,000 Conquest cash for non-Ford Lincoln owners.
The walkout is on. We welcome you fieldside. GE Appliances presenting the opening walkout. Malik Badawi leading the way. These teams have met in the playoffs the last 3 years. It's an exciting one ahead. New York Red Bulls 2 and Louisville City. Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by UPSjobs.com. Louisville in the gray. Here's their starting 11 now. McCabe is back from injury.
It's good to see him back. Hopino up top has been really in good form. Hasn't got the statistics to show for it, but he's come close a number of times. Also good to see Ombi back as well. And of course, Matt Sosa will be looking to build on his run of form as he scored last time out.
And look at the bench. Paolo Del Piccolo is available, and they want to get him some minutes before the playoffs begin, maybe even a few starts. Meanwhile, UPSjobs.com bringing you the lineup that John Wallenick sends out. It's an alum of the greatest university on the planet, Fordham University. Rashid Nuhu in goal.
Well, I'm not sure about the greatest on the planet, but Nuhu is in goal, which is a surprise because goalkeeping has been so strong for Red Bulls too of late, but this is a really tough lineup. Stroud is impressed up top in conjunction with Jorgensen and Mines.
Jorgensen, a $2.5 million transfer fee reported for him, so he's a big player in their plans for the future. Tonight's Keys to the Game, powered by Kentucky Lottery. Remind you that lottery proceeds fund college scholarship and grant programs, including every dollar of the popular Keys scholarship program. Against this press, you better take care of the ball.
You absolutely do, especially in your own half. You've got to make sure that you connect the passes in your defensive half and manage the transition. If you do turn it over, get back on defense, track the runs from the midfield. And then for the visitors, they have to make sure that they keep the tempo at the level that they want to play it and then break the press, because Louisville City will put the pressure on further up the pitch. They've done it all season, and they've also learned from what St. Louis did in midweek.
Well, it's a weekend where the Foo Fighters and Robert Plant and Zach Brown Band are all in town, but it's Louisville and New York that are going to draw everybody's eyes in the Eastern Conference. Big matchup in the East late in the season with Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts. I forgot to mention Hall & Oates is also in town this weekend. Flicked forward by McCabe. Out of the reach of Hopino. Tonight's first half brought to you by El Nopal Mexican Cuisine. Be sure to visit any of 27 Louisville area locations. La Fiesta starts here, proud partner of Louisville City FC. Matt, you and I have been on the call some of the great games between these two teams. It's matchup number 13. Louisville's taken 2 of the 3 in the playoffs. I mean, this is the rivalry that has dominated the East for years.
It is, and Red Bulls too, such a good club, and Louisville City have done wonders in the last couple of years, obviously, and winning the big matchups when it's mattered most in the playoffs. There's been some crazy games too. Think back to last year, there was a 6-4 result before John Hackworth came on board. It was the last game of the great triumvirate last season.
6-4?
6-4.
Homby got a back heel tap to that. Stroud, who somehow kept that in the byline and went crashing over a board.
I'm not sure what's more amazing, the fact that all those bands are in town this weekend, or the fact that I've actually heard of them.
Well, true enough. There's a mariachi band in the concourse tonight.
I have not heard of, but they're playing some good music.
Crossed by Stroud, handled by Chris Hubbard. This portion of tonight's game is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Questions at the press conference this week about Chris Hubbard being a local guy. And John Hackworth was speaking with the assembled press after training on Thursday. Matt Soso scored the game winner last time out. Squeaker against Hartford. New York coming off one of their more disappointing games of the season. A perfectly executed game plan by St. Louis FC on Wednesday Night Soccer.
The mariachi band is Zalea. I hope I've said the name right. They are the band in attendance tonight for New City doing their bit for Hispanic Heritage Month. Noche Latina is tonight's match.
Ball lobbed across over the head of Ben Mines. He's English, everybody. Give him a break.
Hey, I do apologize for me.
That band is always here, moving and shaking. This will skip to Bezecourt. Found Lemma. and through the pirouette. The offside flag was up when Bezecourt went to ground.
He's just coming from an offside position there to play the ball. Good patient defending there on the left fullback position for Jimenez. Didn't jump in, kept his feet, forced Bezecourt to play the ball back to maintain possession. And there you can see McCabe's hand going up, saying that Bezecourt was coming off from an offside position.
There's Hubbard. Had a career kind of game last time these teams met. 9 saves. Bounces all the way to Rashid Nuhu. Came out of the Right to Dream Academy. Grew up in Accra, Ghana. His brother actually is on loan from Manchester City at present. He's bounced around a little bit, as so often happens when players are signed to Premier League clubs. By Paco Craig.
Ombi is playing through the middle in the front three for Lou City.
Jimenez and a nice layoff to lead to the Metsoso goal against Hartford last time out. Left that a bit short, and Williams drops in for Tosh. McMahon. Early ball, Ownby. Just out of Ownby's reach.
McMahon has been a real find in the latter part of this season for John Hackworth. Really cemented his place in the right fullback position. Allowed Jimenez to come over to the left side. That's allowed Oscar to be more comfortable in his play, as we've seen of late.
Nuhu arranging the midfield. McMahon came in about a month ago and really did settle the entire Louisville back line with his presence. This will run all the way out. With board-certified allergists serving 16 offices throughout Louisville Metro and Southern Indiana. Relief always nearby at Family Allergy and Asthma, the official weather sponsor of Louisville City. Visit FamilyAllergy.com. 88 degrees. We're getting towards the nitty-gritty of the season, yet we still have midsummer temperatures. Rasmussen.
The way that McMahon applied himself, John Hackworth said how professional he was and putting the work in and day out at practice. And that epitomizes really the team in general. George Davis IV, not in the starting lineup at the moment, begrudgingly accepting his role, coming off of the substitute bench, but doing so professionally. It's so important to be able to do that.
Popino. Ownby making a run and a good slide in. Jordan Scarlett going to ground.
Good attack down the right flank. Quickly on the transition, searching ball forward. Openo, you can see him looking around, seeing where the support's coming from. Delivers a really good pass. And that was an important sliding challenge from Scarlett.
Rasmussen. Kept by McMahon.
So impressive when you watch these players and how they're able to look around and see what's coming.
McCabe and Nuhu aggressive off his line, snared it before Matsoso arrived.
Again, we saw that from McCabe, that little look up, not just blindly sending it into the box. You have an understanding of where the ball needs to be delivered, but having the confidence, the skill, which you'd expect at this level, it's the skill that youngsters should try to copy, try to emulate. Learn that technical ability to have that ball at your feet and then have the confidence to look up and pick out the passes.
Quick throw in, bounces all the way through for Ownby. Nuhu came out, got enough to slow it down, and knocked aside to Scarlett, who clears his line. off of Kofi, and the other way comes Rito. Jorgensen pushed down by Tosh.
Good strong tackle from Tosh. I thought Jorgensen may have been offside, but the flag stayed down. A demonstration of how dangerous Red Bulls 2 can be.
And this is how you beat Red Bull 2, right down the gut. Rasmussen off the base of the post. And this will go ringing off of Metsoso. John Wallenick is incensed at present.
Well, he might be. He's wondering why his team fall asleep. This is a great moment. The only player that didn't fall asleep was the goalkeeper. Bravely out and quickly out. Scarlett there, just where he was going, I'm not sure. Kilwine was not really marking up either, so Rasmussen was in acres of space. Beats the goalkeeper, but not the upright. And McCabe on the rebound, not able to find his way to the ball. Just holds his arms out in frustration. Which the way is that Red Bulls 2 coach did. His frustration at his players. Red Bulls 2 player down. Back to his feet, thankfully.
Right. Bezecourt wearing the captain's armband. A little tug on the shoulder from Craig, and now the whistle. John Wallenick has been the head coach for all 5 years of Red Bulls 2. He also an alumnus of Fordham University. One of 3 first-round picks by the Red Bulls over the years. You can see his frustration trying to get messages into this team right now. He's a guy who deserves far, far, far more credit than he ever gets, John Wallenick, for having this team be beyond competitive every year. Lately, they've been running into the Louisville buzzsaw in the playoffs at Slugger Field.
We talk about it all the time, the teams that are linked to the MLS and the coming and going of players and the management of roster.
Lemma. And it got by everybody, including Kilwine.
So to be able to keep consistency of performance with an ever-changing roster is a real feather in the cap for the coaches such as John Wallenick to be as competitive as they are week in, week out, season in, season out.
It does seem like they've found the appropriate balance, the combination of super draft picks and trialists they're interested in, and guys like Jorgensen, who many view as an heir apparent to a significant role in the Red Bull 2 roster this year and then into the MLS side in years to come.
Jorgensen was probably frustrated that he didn't just immediately vault into the MLS team, but because the USL is so competitive, he now has a place to play. And not just in reserve games, he has the opportunity to play meaningful minutes in a very meaningful competition.
John Hackworth took over midway through last year, coached the team to a title, including a 5-1 win against Red Bulls 2 in the postseason. Spoke at length this week with the media how you try and stymie this Red Bull side. A lot of nuance to what they do. Called this a 90-minute chess match.
Well, that passage of play with Bezecourt down the right flank, showing how tricky he can be. And the interchanges of passes are very difficult to defend, and the speed of players like Bezecourt, and we saw Packer Craig putting his hand on Bezecourt's shoulder because he was already beaten. It led to the set piece that was wasted by the visitors, but that makes an illustration of how difficult Red Bulls 2 can be to defend.
Kilwine under pressure from Ownby, who's making just his 12th start this year.
defending from Omby up the pitch. Patient, forcing the play backward.
Be like those people that just threw that ball back. You don't get to keep them. And don't be left out of the brand new Lynn Family Stadium. Season tickets officially on sale for everyone. Over 5,000 have already been sold. You can go to LouCity.com, call 502-LOU-CITY to learn more.
Fantastic that so many tickets have been sold. There's such a great crowd on hand here at Slucker Field.
Well, this is a McMahon foul, which has that big Louis City crowd, little boo heavy.
Well, I have a really good view of it next season. I can't wait to see the new stadium.
The field isn't there yet, you know, the giant green part, but everything else is coming into shape, and the way the light structures are so unique within the American soccer stratosphere. I mean, it's really exciting stuff. As Scarlett pulled the ball back, played a really nice pass, but wasn't handled just right.
A little heavy on the touch was Bezecourt.
McCabe, will this hang in? It won't. It'll be a throw for Red Bull 2. All those flags are going to have to move over to the other stadium in Butchertown. It's not that long a drive. You can walk it, of course. But Scouse's house needs to find a new home. I think all the supporters groups have already picked their sections for what it's worth. As Jimenez got tackled from behind.
Silly foul there from Rito. High in the challenge. Hands in the back of McCabe. Easy one to be called for by the referee.
Won't be McCabe. Certainly will be striking this into play. Bounces down in front. Back heel to set up Williams. It didn't come off. Paco Craig with a nice bit of play and a challenge by Jimenez. An instant yellow card. Bezecourt tripped up.
It was a delightful ball played in on the set piece. Curling effort, started at the 6, curl it into the far post. Clever back heel, almost comes off. Look at that touch from Bezecourt. Completely wrong foots Jimenez. Number 19 just clips the heel. And Four Roses delivers the yellow card.
Get your Four Roses bourbon at Liquor Barn. They deliver. Tossed in by Rito. And back now from Kofi. Kofi on it again. Homegrown player signed at the beginning of the calendar year. Ownby steps in and dispossesses Lemma. Here comes Hopino. Hopino and Ownby both lightning fast speed. Hopino nuzzled off the ball. Strong defense by Kilwine.
Nuzzled.
Right?
I'm not sure Hopino would agree with nuzzled. Ran into the big body of Kilwine there. A little heavy on the touch. Brian Ownby trying to figure out what he was going to do with his run. Wasn't going at full pelt. Wasn't able to provide any options for Hopino, and in the end, with the heavy touch, he ran out of options, and then Kilwine just ran him out over the byline.
I can tell you that is the first time this year that word has come to my mind to describe a foul. Effort by Mines. Was well shielded by Jimenez. This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Republic Bank. New York #1 in the standings, Louisville #7. Top 10 make the playoffs. Top 6 avoid the first round, which is new this year. And 7 through 10 play on a Wednesday night and turn around and play on the weekend if they survive. They'd have to do it on the road. Mines at the back of Craig. who won it for Louisville. And Metsoso got dumped by Kofi.
Seemed a little innocuous there. Sosa wasn't really in a position to get the ball. There was a coming together, certainly, but seemed a little innocuous to me. Sosa really hasn't been involved in the match to this point.
Running of the Bulls, entering the penalty area, and shred across. Bezecourt! New York grabs the lead on the road.
Well, you could hear the disappointment from the crowd as the ball goes in the back of the net. Sean Tosh was beaten on the outside. Ball comes on in the inside, and Tosh, perhaps with the change of surface, unsure of his footing. I wasn't sure who it was who got down to the byline. Stroud with the ball. There's the move, beating Tosh. McMahon trying to get back in the picture. And I thought that ball should have been played back to Bezecourt. He was just hanging out at the top of the box. There he is in the picture there. And in the end, it was played back to him by Paco Craig. Bezecourt's not going to make a mistake from there. Strong finish from the captain.
And Louisville will play from behind as John Hackworth hides at the edge of the dugout, pen to paper in his classic black book. And John Wallenick, who was so frustrated 5-10 minutes ago, watches his side jump in front. For Bezecourt, that is his third goal this year. He did score the 5th goal in a 5-1 win against Swope Park in the 2016 USL Championship final. And for, notably, Jared Stroud, that is his 10th assist. He's now in double figures goals and assists. So the latest to join the double-double club. He's got now 13 goals and 10 dimes this year.
Really impressive for an impressive player. One wonderful moment in that second half of the midweek game that forced Gomez into a fantastic save.
Scarlett pokes that out. Corner for Louisville off McCabe's service.
The first 24 minutes kind of epitomizes Louisville City FC's season. Large passages of play in their opponent's half. Plenty of chances, but nothing on the score sheet. And then in the transition, they concede one. That's why they're sitting in 7th. It's been a frustrating year.
Corner lifted, knew who did enough. And Louisville's been digging out of a hole since the opening month of the year. In truth, when you look at the standings, it's been one thing after another. Ownby. It's been one of those things that just hasn't gone right. He's, in the end, going to play less than half of the games this year.
Jimenez has got to be careful. Trying to play that ball forward, it gets deflected. As Rito goes forward, Jimenez knowing that he probably was beat for speed and trying to use his body to shield Red Bull's right fullback off of the ball, but sitting on a yellow card, that's a risky move for Jimenez.
Reaching the byline, Rasmussen settles for Williams. McCabe, Williams around the outside. Jimenez level, 24th minute. His first of the year. And Jimenez's form has taken a massive step forward late in the year. And Louisville's 7-match unbeaten streak is no coincidence. 1-1.
Taking a page out of the Red Bulls 2 playbook. Intricate passing around the box. It starts on the right with Hopino. Beautiful work down the right flank. Finished with beautiful work from Jimenez. Great vision there from Speedy Williams with the interchange of passes from McCabe. Knowing that Jimenez is coming down the left side, and it was a wonderful finish for Kentucky Lottery goal. Presented by the Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. And there was lots of imagination in that finish there from Lou City FC.
Well, maybe we'll see 10 goals again. Who knows, Matt?
Certainly might. How's that feel about it at the moment? Great work from Hopino. Just a little freeze move, and he chipped the ball over the foot of the defender. Gets to the byline, plays it back. Ends up on the foot of Rasmussen. Thought that he might actually turn and shoot the ball. He finds a way to get it to Speedy Williams, and he interchanges with McCabe, and in all of that passing, it allowed Jimenez to get up from his left fullback position, and great job on the overlap.
Oh, this idea is just terrific, but the flag is up. It's offside. Curling effort by Stroud goes begging.
Well, Paco Craig was certain it was offside. I'm not so sure. But what I think isn't important, that's what the assistant on this near sideline thinks, and he agreed with a big central defender for the home team. I know the rule's been in place where you let the play continue, but it still puts the heart in mouth, I think, for the defenders when the whistle doesn't go immediately. Waiting to see whether players are involved in the offside or not.
Quick throw to Ownby, and he'll knock it off Scarlett for a corner. Of course, with no VAR in the USL Championship, referees don't have that, oh, let's just hesitate and see what happens. Worst case, we'll go to the monitor. Not quite.
Not allowed to do that.
Jimenez, an assist last game. John Hackworth said probably your man of the match in that game against Hartford Athletic. A notable uptick for him since moving back to the left-hand side. Swings in the service. Kofi there, and well, there's a push behind him. Feet of Rashid Nuhu. Nuhu sends it into the sideline. Danny Cruz, the Louisville assistant coach, trying to keep tempo moving. It feels like they may have Red Bull on the ropes. Ownby played through by Rasmussen, and Kilwine knocks it out. Another Louisville corner.
Good work there from Kilwine. Hopino was trying to get into the top of the six. It's a lovely little touch from Rasmussen to spring Ownby. Ownby had to wait to deliver a pass because Kilwine's positioning was good.
Jimenez. Fair play by Lemma. Tosh. Ball came away from him. Bezikor, who has the opening goal of the game back in the 20th. Watches it flick off of his foot.
Well, look at the reaction there of McCabe and Matsoso as Red Bulls 2 looked like they had a head of steam on the transition. Both players sprinting back to their own half. Not trying to slow things down at all. Just content to get as far away as they could to keep play in front of them.
Oscar Jimenez. Ownby through traffic. Ownby dancing, crossing, deflects backward. Rasmussen tries to shed off the challenge. And Bezikor pirouettes into space, and a yellow card comes out to Napo Matsoso for breaking up the transition.
Grab of the shirt there. Matsoso, tactical foul. That's why he gets the Four Roses Bourbon yellow card.
Soso, one of the half dozen or so with local Louisville ties. Went to St. Francis High School and then on to University of Kentucky. Floated over Mines. Well, we're entering the 30th minute. John Walnick's side grabbed the lead 20 minutes in. Watched it dissipate 3 minutes later with Oscar Jimenez finishing off an impressive Louisville chance. Jimenez struck that before the ball was stationary. He's probably better off getting a second look.
Especially with one. Might have hit it better if he'd waited for the ball to start moving.
True enough.
The referee's still not happy. Third time a charm, perhaps.
You know, John Hackworth had an interesting comment to me this week. He said he is a little stubborn about it. There is an element of these recent games have been 2-1, 1-0, 1-1, 0-0. They've found ways to grab results, and sometimes it hasn't been the prettiest on the scoreline. He might be a little stubborn. He wants to play beautifully. And he felt like against Hartford they had 5-6 chances where they played beautifully and didn't finish. Matt Soso did finish one last week. Deflects in! Matt Soso knows it's beautiful anytime you score. 2-1 Louisville.
Well, I think John Hackworth might take it. Sometimes it looks pretty like the first goal. Sometimes you get a little bit of luck and it goes in the back of the net. It all ends up the same on the score sheet. A 2-1 lead to the home team. Quick transition off the set piece. McMahon plays it forward. Vision from Rasmussen to go along with his touch. And the goalkeeper unlucky. He's anticipating the curling effort. And the deflection takes it behind his back. Nothing that Nuhu could do. And Matt Sosa has been quiet so far this game, but now he gets himself on the stat sheet with a wonderfully taken second goal for Lou City.
That goal presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. And suddenly Matt Soso, who didn't have a professional goal until last week, has scored in 2 games running. And Louisville's looking for more. Lest we forget that last year's 6-4 wild affair, August the 10th, was 2-0 Red Bull before Louisville scored 5 unanswered, including a handful in quick succession.
It was a strange game too, and I had the call of it. And just had a really strange atmosphere, and as I say, all of a sudden it was 5-2 to Louisville City. And then Red Bulls 2 scored another, and you think, oh, this could get interesting. And finally, the boys in purple were able to put it to bed.
Lancaster hat trick, Elliot Illich 2 goals, George Davis the 4th. Scored shortly out of halftime to give Louisville a 3-2 lead. Bouncing through, Rasmussen slides, Scarlett follow! Matt Soso can't be stopped! You've got to see this to believe it. This is somewhere between imagination and a Matt Soso education. 3-1 Lou City in staggering fashion.
John Walnick must be absolutely furious with his defense. Twice now they've fallen asleep off the set pieces. Credit to the referee, he let play continue. This probably would have been a penalty kick, but Matt Sosa comes in, puts the ball in the back of the net, reacting quickly, not anticipating the whistle, anticipating the finish. Credit to the referee for letting play continue on another Kentucky Lottery goal. Presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. I wonder whether the supporters have enough smoke in that stack.
Louisville was shut out by Red Bull back on June the 16th. 1-0 game where the press caused a miscommunication. Lemma lobs it forward. Jorgensen in pursuit. It heads back to Hubbard. For what it's worth, this week's Wednesday Night Soccer, Devin Kerr was trying to telestrate and explain how Red Bull can force turnovers. And in doing so, he put Louisville in his crosshairs, not inadvertently. John Hackworth said, I noticed Devin took us on this week a little bit. He ultimately was watching that game in preparation for this one when St. Louis took New York down a peg, 2-0 in Missouri.
Well, I'd say it's early goings yet, but perhaps lesson learned from Lou City FC.
This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Sullivan University. 35th minute, Red Bull looking to respond. Got caught between the feet of Sean Tosh.
Man got a little bit lucky there that Tosh was able to corral that ball. Man was in no man's land a little bit. Great work there from Scarlett, again tracking the run of Ownby, getting in the passing lane. Man gone forward, was not sure where he needed to be defensively and was bypassed on the initial pass and then rescued by Tosh.
Let's go back a step to the comment a few moments before the first goal by Metsoso. John Hackworth isn't saying he won't take gritty wins. What he is saying is what you practice from January until now is the build-up that often leads to beautiful play. There is a style that he believes is most likely to win in the long term. And he does feel like there have been seminal moments in this 7-game stretch where they've played that way, and it happens to coincide with some tight results. Slide down there, appeal for a penalty. It's a penalty for New York.
Frustration from Rasmussen, disbelief.
It's a handball by Sean Tosh, and we may be after 10 goals yet.
There's the referee indicating it is a handball. Well, Tosh going to ground there. Ball comes across. The arm is up. It's the left arm. As he goes in for that challenge there. The arm was up. I think Tosh is unlucky, but I can see why it was given.
New York trying to get back within one, and they have. Stroud, goal number 14 of the year. And Red Bull makes it 3-2 in the 37th.
Well, if this is a chess match, it's one of those express chess matches when you're on a time limit. The pieces are flying around the field. Nicely done by Stroud, wrong footing the goalkeeper. Calmly passes the ball in the back of the net, a well-taken penalty kick.
And John Wallenick smashes the clock and says it's your turn now. Absolutely wild first half in Louisville tonight. New York scored first 20 minutes in. Louisville responded with 3 goals in a quarter hour. And New York, a penalty to pull back to a goal down. Rito. Kofi. Rito again, slicing that across. Williams. And it's a quick counter press to recover for New York.
Good work defensively in the left fullback position. Jimenez and McCabe in conjunction with each other, switching off beautifully.
And a foul by Jimenez. Got Ben Mines, free kick, New York.
I was just giving them some love for playing good defense. Jimenez clumsy in the challenge there. Jumping in, don't need to do that. Mines is facing away from the goal, just forced the issue towards the sideline. Any contact there, Mines is going to go down easily. That's why McCabe is upset. He feels that Mines went down a little bit too easily, but you can see the arm was up in the back, and experienced players are just going to ride that one to the ground and win the free kick, and that's exactly what Mines did.
Free kick, whipped in by Lemma and lifted up and over by Pat McMahon. Corner here for New York in the 40th minute. And they're trying to figure out which side it's going to be coming from. It's going to be from the far side.
That was an important header from McMahon because Scarlett was right behind him.
Lemma switches sides to take it. And knocked out here by Tosh. New York says part of their vetting process, part of their scouting process is watching body language. More on that in a moment. Ball lobbed across. This time it's Williams. Bezecourt bouncing ball. Gets over Mines right to Hubbard. The way they play, you won't steal every pass. And you have to be able to get back and defend, and Nuhu has to leave his penalty area to go knock that out. And a quick throw there right into Omby from Hopino. Omby juggling and knocked away by Scarlett. But you have to be quick to counter press. You have to be willing to do extra running. When they bring in trialists, oftentimes they don't put them through the full paces in their first week of training. They know they're not going to be ready for it. But it is interesting hearing how the Red Bulls look for players that fit their narrative, their system, and they do it as well as any team in this country.
That's part of why John Wellenick has been so successful, because the organization does look for the players that fit the system. And so you aren't necessarily trying to plug and play pieces that are completely foreign to what you're trying to do at the USL level, because there's consistency within the whole Red Bulls organization.
Slide in there, and it was a handball. It's worth noting they have a USL League 2 side, the under-23s. Some of the players knew who the goalkeeper included. They bring into the 23s and get a look at them within the system, see how they handle a more professional environment that maybe the collegiate game will offer. And they'll go, okay, now we've seen another 10, 15 games. We can maybe take the next step with this player. We might draft him. We may make him a homegrown if he's been in the academy. And there was an enlightening article about Aaron Long as Jimenez powers forward in a game that doesn't have an off switch right now. McCabe, Ownby, nearly ran out of real estate. He'll come out to Mines, the 19-year-old who debuted at 17 in MLS. And we'll skip one further towards Scarlett, now off Stroud. Hopino. McMahon. It's going to be a corner, but Aaron Long said, past organizations I've been around did not watch every game that happened within their organization. And at Red Bull, Jesse Marsh, Chris Armas, the apparatus over the past few years have been entirely focused on making sure that they've got a full picture of what's going on at the championship level and at the MLS level. It's part of why they've been quite as successful as they have been, making that transition with some of these players. It's a short corner for Louisville. Powered over the top, punched away by Nuhu. Powerful stuff. And Rito slips it ahead. Pumping the brakes, Stroud. Rito. Louisville's back line gyrating forward and back. Slide down by Jimenez. And he was tugged in the process. Lou City is teaming up with the Muhammad Ali International Airport to give our fans a chance to win 2 free tickets to any of Fly Louisville's 30+ nonstop destinations. You can still enter today at LouisvilleCity.com/contests.
The fact that you're talking about Red Bulls too, and people from the organization, coaches from the organization, having an understanding of what's going on at each level within the club, it just, as a player, it means that you're always involved. And you know that there's a chance for you to advance because you know you're being looked at by the coaching staff, and you feel that you are part of the bigger organization. You have something invested in the club, not just within your own part of the club, your own team.
Some guys don't fit the long-term vision, but use Red Bull as an organization as a springboard. It, I suppose, gives them wings. Red Bull edge of the penalty area. The turn by Stroud, a goal and an assist tonight. And he's won a corner for New York on the precipice of stoppage time. Three added minutes of Sullivan University stoppage time. Kofi header and got over Kilwine by a very slim margin. But it is going to be a corner that's last touched by a Louisville defender.
I think Mines saw that. He was hanging out pretty much unmarked at the far post. Swung a leg somewhere in the vicinity of the ball, but perhaps understanding he wasn't going to get a play on it.
Lifted up this time, and a Red Bull 2 foul will bring play to a screeching halt. Red Bulls just another great year. First in the East. Indy's got a game in hand. They are one of 4 teams in the conference to have already qualified for the playoffs. And they're nearly assured of avoiding the opening round, where 7 through 10 in the standings will have to play. For Louisville, they're trying to jump North Carolina tonight to move into 6th.
North Carolina play on Sunday, I believe.
Turned over to Omby. Spearheading the charge. Add to Hopino. Hopino! Deflects in! 4-2 Louisville in the first half.
Well, Louisville have done a great job of transitioning to offense, catching the visitors on the hop. Goalkeeper Newho's been out quickly on a couple of occasions to thwart offense from the home team. Nothing he could do here. He tries to narrow the angle. Hopino slows the play down, allows the defender, Kilwine, to overrun him. Drives the ball into the back post. The goalkeeper actually gets a touch, but nothing he could do to stop the ball going in the back of the net. It's another wonderful Kentucky Lottery goal. Presented by the Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. It's good to see Hopino get on the score sheet. He's been a good run of form, but just hasn't had the rewards for it.
It's his second this year, and his first, I believe, was his second game with the club.
It's been a long time coming. Last time I called the game for Lou City, Hopino had a slew of chances.
Ball lobbed across, punched away by Hubbard. Not much further by McCabe. Rito. There can't be another goal here, can there? That's kicked into the bleachers. Will they give New York enough time for the corner? One would imagine, given the goal came in the second minute of stoppage time. Red Bull led this game 1-0. Louisville scored 3 unanswered. Stroud, a penalty to draw New York within 1. Hopino responds in kind. Corner lofted, back post, and it's lifted over by Kilwine as the first half whistle, rather Jorgensen, as the whistle sounds.
Flicked corner at the near post. Jorgensen would have seen it late, but he will be disappointed he couldn't put that one on target.
Listen to this crowd, man. Standing ovation on the way off.
Well, the players deserve it. It's been a great first half. I know the players need a rest. I know I do. It's been a really exciting first 45 minutes.
Our Game on Mouthguard's halftime report is coming up. Matt and I will find a steaming cup of tea and get ready for this second half of play. Lou City, 3 unanswered at one point, 4-2 up at the break. Highlights, stats, news and notes all coming up.
Toyota's national clearance event is on. It's time to save on the last of the 2019s. Congratulations. Congrats.
Lease an adventurous new 2019 RAV4 for $199 a month, or choose $1,250 finance cash, or get $3,000 cash back on the built-in the USA Highlander.
How long should we do this?
Well, the event doesn't end until September 3rd.
Toyota, let's go places.
Isn't it time to finally do something about your allergies? Rush allergy shots at Family Allergy and Asthma can begin to work in as little as 1 day, so you can find permanent relief faster than ever. Don't wait to feel better. Family Allergy and Asthma.
Toyota's last chance clearance. Take one.
It's the Toyota Last Chance Clearance, where you can get a clearance deal on a Camry with 2.9. Correction, where you can get 1.9 financing for 60 months on a sporty new 2019 Camry. Or cut a deal on a new Camry with $1,750 cash back. Or a low mileage lease for $219 a month. With a 2-year no-cost maintenance plan standard. Hurry to the Toyota Last Chance Clearance, where the cost of buying a new Toyota has been cut. Now through September 30th. Toyota, let's go places.
Whether it's time to get to work or to your weekend, make sure it's all quality time. Get to Nissan Truck Month and save big on a J.D. Power award-winning truck, including Titan, best in quality, and Frontier, best in dependability. Both with the tech you want and the quality you need. Hurry in to Nissan Truck Month today. Save up to $11,319 on Titan. And for a limited time, get the Midnight Edition package at no extra charge.
911, what's your emergency?
Send everything you have.
I became a profiler to hunt down people like my father.
The series premiere of Prodigal Son.
My boy, there's so much more I can teach you about murder.
But first, 911 returns.
Help is on the way.
What a thrill.
Starts Monday at 8 on WDRB.
There's a reason everyone around here complains about allergies. They're bad. But Family Allergy and Asthma can build up your immunity to what makes you miserable, ending your suffering for good. No more symptoms means no more complaining. Family Allergy and Asthma.
Welcome in on a gorgeous September evening in Louisville, Kentucky. Game on Mouthguard's halftime. Louisville City, twice reigning champions, shut out by New York earlier this year. Not the case at halftime. 4-2 Lou City. Well, we got big games remaining down the stretch of the regular season. There's some great plays a week ago. And, of course, a great game coming up on Wednesday night. El Paso and Fresno out in the West. Here's a quick preview.
Let's go with the left point, Jamal Johnson. What a goal! Perfectly placed. With one touch to settle, and Alex finds the top of the net. Black stays down, and Indy 11 has a 1. Ball struck towards the 18, headed on, and headed home.
Inside glancing header, and he caps it off with the goal of the night.
I think they want dangerous play call.
That one served in the back of the net. Fresno out of nowhere.
Milton serves it into the back post. It's off the woodwork and it's in.
That's in the back of the net. Another cross into the corner, and Hubbard does even better.
Moberg's gonna take a shot on goal with a cross and a fantastic save.
Good shot for Blackwood. Nice play by Van Oekel
to force him to give the ball up. Illich saved. Second league in USL League One. He's got an opportunity for another curls and scores. Oh, Seguro. Moshobani again. Back heel, Moshobani! He did it again!
Whips it in, finds the back post. Oh, what a finish. Arturo Rodriguez. Through ball though. Demas the other way. Demas saved by Hara.
It's in the middle. Still Jaden Nelson. His shot. It's saved again by Giuliano Chache.
Wide open. Fitzgerald covering the mark, still Rodriguez, and stopped by Fitzgerald.
Louisville over New York Red Bulls 2. Champions both in the USL Championship in the last 3 years. And the Cows are out there. That's kind of what the goalkeeping has looked like at times in this game. Let's take a look at some news and notes from around the USL Championship with Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts, Mecklenburg County in North Carolina. And Memorial Stadium going to be the future home for the Charlotte Independents. It's a $30 million plus project. Meanwhile, we're starting to talk about teams clinching in the playoffs, including in the East.
It's crazy that at that point in the season, it's been a long season, but it's exciting that we are down to the playoff picture and seeing who is getting into that top spot and who's going to find a way into the top 6, who's going to be in the first round of the playoffs. It's all going to come down as we get to the closing point of this season.
And the rumor is San Diego will have Landon Donovan around. He's part owner of the team. Doubt he'll play. Coach, GM, who knows? We'll find out in the 2020 season. As let's take a look at our out-of-town scores from around the Eastern Conference with our Commonwealth Credit Union roundup. Nashville and Pittsburgh have just gotten underway. North Carolina, who Louisville are watching intently, will play tomorrow. Indy 11 lost last night to Birmingham. Huge boost to Birmingham's hopes. Indy gave up a big opportunity to grab points potentially against New York in the standings.
It certainly did, and if things stay as they are at the moment, if Rowdies are able to win out this game tonight against Bethlehem still, you'll have 3 teams tied at 56 at the top of the East standings. That's a logjam that will be decided by goal difference. Indy 11, there's a big difference there between the goal difference, but there's not much between New York Red Bulls 2 and the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
That opening tiebreaker number of wins and then goal difference, and then you start getting into complicated arithmetic. That would send both of us back to school. A lot of purple jerseys. Red Bulls and Louisville have given them a lot of reasons to stand. We've got highlights coming up in our Game on Mouth Guards halftime report.
Heading to Toyota's National Clearance Event.
We got great deals for all our friends.
Better get here before the end of the song. The last of the 2019s won't last long.
$750 bonus cash on new 4Runners and Tacomas ends September 3rd. One last chance to get $1250 total cash back on the legendary 4Runner or $1750 back on the rugged Tacoma. Don't miss it.
Save on the last of the 2019s.
Toyota, let's go places.
Toyota's last chance clearance. Take one.
It's the Toyota Last Chance Clearance, where you can get a clearance lease on a Corolla for $169. Correction, where you can get a low mileage lease on the all-new greater than ever Corolla for $159 a month. Or cut a deal on a new Corolla with $1,000 cash back. With the most advanced safety features and a 2-year no-cost maintenance plan standard. Hurry to the Toyota Last Chance Clearance, where the cost of buying a new Toyota has been cut. Now through September 30th. Toyota, let's go places.
Since 1923, Cosair Charities has shown children their potential instead of their obstacles. So they see the world as a place of possibility, where great things can take flight. When you support COSAIR charities, you help elevate every aspect of a child's life. Together, our kids, an entire community, can reach new heights. There's so much more to do. Join us by donating today.
I trust you are enjoying yourself, my sweet.
Magnificent party, darling. How do you pull it off?
The usual, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome, Chad. Beautiful. I have the best people. Liquor Barn, where Kentuckians go to celebrate life. Cheers.
Alexa, turn on the house lights.
And now, get a 2019 Escape with 0 for 60 plus $1,500 cash back or $4,500 cash back.
Welcome back to our Game On Mouth Guards halftime report with Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts, Lou City 4, Red Bulls 2-2 as we head into our halftime highlights. And they're going to come fast and furious, Matt. So let's start with how New York got in front in this game. They did it 20 minutes in.
It was a driving ball run down the left side by Stroud. Plays the ball along the 6. I thought it should have gone back to the top of the box. He wasn't able to do so, but Paco Craig obliged with the deflection onto the foot of Bezecourt. And from that range, Bezecourt knows exactly what to do. Calmly puts it in the back of the net for the 1-goal advantage at that point with the left peg. But this was a wonderful team goal from the home squad. It started down the right with Open Up. He plays it across the box, interchange of passes. Rasmussen, Williams, and McCabe involved. And as that develops, Jimenez is able to get up from his left back position and just drives this ball into the back of the net with his left peg. And then Matsosa was quiet in the first half until he found a way to put the ball in the back of the net. A little lucky with the deflection here, perhaps, but you got to make your own luck, get in the right places. And that was a good, calm finish by number 27, the midfielder for Lou City. Credit here for the referee. He plays advantage. Matsosa plays the whistle. It doesn't come, so he drives it into the back of the net as Rasmussen is taken to ground. Referee Malik Badawi does not blow his whistle for the PK that probably would have come. Nothing that Nuhu could have done. And it puts it into the back of the net. On the other end, though, a penalty did come. Tosh unlucky with the left hand up. Gets called for the handball. And Stroud calmly slots it with the right foot into the back of the net. Puts his fingers to the lips saying, hey, calm down, quieten down. Home team. The home team had nothing about that. Hopino gets his reward for lots of hard work and good chances through this season. Drives the ball in with his left foot. A good opportunistic strike. Again, beating the goalkeeper, who got a hand to it, but wasn't able to keep it out of the back of the net.
Today's stats and facts are delivered by Liquor Barn. Now delivering. Download the Liquor Barn app or order online today at liquorbarn.com. The stat you won't see, the response. Down in the 20th minute, Jimenez, Matsoso, 24, 31, 33. 3 goals, 10 minutes.
Such a positive response from the home team and showing how dangerous that Lou City can be on the transition. Taking a page out of the book of New York Red Bulls 2. Beat the other team on the transition, and that's exactly what Lou City have done so far in this game.
As back to the field we go. We'll take a look at VisionWorks, what to look for as we head into the second half of play. Matt, start with what you think Louisville needs to do.
They just have to keep up the pace. Don't drop off. Make sure that they stay on the front foot. Keep putting New York Red Bulls 2 under pressure. The moment you step back and try and protect the goal advantage that you have at this moment, that just plays into the hand of the visitors. And the visitors, they've got to be switched on. 2 of those 4 goals were conceded directly off of set pieces or stoppages in play, and I think John Wolonek will be very disappointed that his team were not paying better attention and frustrated that they conceded so easily off of a stoppage in play, and that's the point when, as a player, you have to maintain your concentration, and that's something that his squad just did not do.
It's worth noting that Louisville is only 6 points back of Tampa Bay Rowdies. Both teams are leading right now. However, one would imagine with a 6-point game essentially coming up against Tampa Bay down the stretch, there is a universe that exists where Louisville could find their way into a home playoff game. It's a long way to go seemingly, but all of a sudden Red Bulls are going to have 2 more games played than several teams behind them, including Indy 11, who've played the fewest games among playoff teams. Couple changes at the break we'll tell you about. McSherry coming on for Rito at the break. And Roy Boateng will make his second professional appearance, both off the bench, both in the last now 2 games, as Louisville turns it over to begin the second half of play. Well, there's McSherry, sub brought to you by MHS Global. McMahon. And there's Boateng, who's come on for Red Bulls 2. The sub brought to you by, you guessed it, MHS Global. Well, if you're John Wallenick and you're down 2 goals and you've given up 4, time to mix things up a little bit. You got to be aggressive at the break, don't you?
You do. Benacore coming into the back line. Allow other players to push forward and see how McSherry fits into the picture as well. There's him going further up the pitch.
This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Luna Azul Tequila.
So Scarlett is the player that has come out, making way for Boateng. And Rito coming out, making way for McSherry.
Scarlett was up against it all night long. Bezecourt scored the opening goal in this game. Knocked across by Tolkien. Kofi. It's Tolkien again. Tolkien, the academy product, spinning in a good ball. Bouncing toward McSherry.
I think the outside backs for Red Bulls 2 have been told to push on. McSherry and Tolkien both up in the attacking third there, as Jimenez is slow to get up after contact. John Wallenick is going to try and send those outside players further forward to try and prevent McMahon and Jimenez going forward on the Louisville side of the pitch. Those, you throw the dice as a coach and see if you can send your outside backs forward to keep your opposition outside backs occupied defensively rather than allowing them the freedom to come up in attack.
Hopino bodying off Lemma. Positive step by Kilwine.
I don't think we mentioned Lemma in the first 45 minutes.
Not nearly often enough.
He'll be changing his foot there. To undo your laces.
The 4th official is going to stand by and watch. McMahon stumbled. Craig ranges back. And Jorgensen gave it a second thought. Turned 19 yesterday. He provides a little something different. His 17th appearance for Red Bulls 2. Has managed 9 goals, 25 in red.
One of which was the difference between these two teams earlier in the season.
Sure was. You had Tolkien jokes coming into this game, didn't you? You'll save them?
I'll save them.
Okay. One name to rule them all. Throw for Louisville.
I'm sure John has heard quite a few of them.
Hopefully most said with love and not malice. Ownby, jersey tug from Kilwine. And a foul from Boateng. Free kick, Louisville. 50th minute, coming into the 51st.
He's a big boy, he's Boateng. It's a strong challenge. I don't think the referee's whistle would have been blown, except for the left arm coming up and a little bit of a chicken wing shove of Brian Ownby there. At least on this occasion. He didn't quickly get a yellow card as he did in midweek.
Well, it looks like Rasmussen's going to be left to his own devices here. Rasmussen, 10 goals this year, and he curls that low and into the wall.
Seem to be caught in two minds whether to drive it hard and hit it with the laces, or to bend it in, and in the end, being caught between two stools there. It's a nothing effort from Rasmussen, and you can see the player just clap his hands in frustration as the ball then goes out for a throw-in. Coaching staff on the bench there getting a talking to, the head referee.
Flicked on by Stroud, comes to McMahon. Ownby. Toward Jorgensen. Effort to drive by Cherry. And back it goes to Hubbard. Goes McCabe.
Quite a few of those long diagonal balls from Lou City, trying to put the backs of Red Bulls 2 under some pressure. An attempt to win the second ball. It's going to be a difficult second half for the visitors, especially playing, defending the end that they are defending with the footing in the infield there.
Craig got his boot to it and careened forward to Williams. I haven't seen Speedy Williams wear the captain's armband all that much over the years, but the full Jamaican international carries it on this day. It's worth noting that Louisville's captain, Paulo Del Piccolo, is on the bench tonight after a lengthy stretch off. Ownby trying to give Matt Sosa a chance at his third. And that's a poor effort by Paco Craig, who will find yellow card number 12 this year waiting on the other side.
Well, he's experienced in getting them, and he knew that this one was coming. His mind is slow to his feet, and why not after a heavy challenge like this? Nice footwork there from McSherry, and then there was Craig just clipping the heels. And as he gets up, he acknowledges that the yellow card is coming from the head official, Malik Badawi, and from Four Roses Bourbon. Louisville could have quite a party with the Four Roses bourbon and the Lunazol tequila and Liquor Bound delivering it all.
The staggering stat of the night actually relates to that, as it's slid away from Bezicor. Matt, you've never had tequila before, is that right?
Not that I remember, which may not be a good thing.
That maybe you have had tequila, yes.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
I'll deliver. I'll take the bourbon. You can have the tequila, and we'll switch sides on that. 10 minutes into the second half have elapsed. Red Bulls, too, have had a giant step forward on the road. They only had 16 points last year on the road. They already have 21. It's really what kept them from being a home playoff team in the opening round. Of course, Red Bulls, too, went on to have an impressive postseason run of their own. It's knocked off the head of Sean Tosh. We mentioned that their season came screeching to a halt against Louisville 5-1, but before that, they went away to FC Cincinnati and ended their spell in USL Championship, silent 16,617. Stroud setting it up, ricochets off of Tosh. Stroud again, and this will run right to Hubbard.
Tosh does well there to keep his arms on this occasion out of the way. He knows the shot's coming. Central defender just stands big, tall, and strong. Goes one of those long, searching diagonal balls. This one Hopino cannot handle, though.
Tolkien. That'll come off Tosh again. He's been a magnet. And a corner for New York.
That's where Louisville can be exposed. That long diagonal ball. McMahon was up. Hopino mishandles the ball. At that moment, the right fullback position for the home team is exposed. Tosh does well to deflect the ball out for the corner kick.
Corner, header down and wide. Roy Boateng looking to find his first goal in Red Bull colors, his first pro goal. City fans can get their team merchandise, including the August Scarf of the Month, kits, hats, flags, and more at LouisvilleCityFC.com or at any home game at their permanent location in 4th Street Live. Sport some gear to support your team.
Red Bulls too, trying to put the press on, trying to stop Hubbard from playing the ball out short. With the confidence, though, for Hubbard to find his defenders, Tosh and Craig, and try to beat the press.
Crowd to the edge of their seat. Ownby against Boateng. And this will skip across.
So tough for Ownby to get any purchase on the surface to attack Boateng. In the end, number 10 just puts it in the right area. Nobody there, though, for the home team. Able to keep it alive. Try a second phase of play now.
Ownby in pursuit. Kilwine. I think that's the right call. Standing up in front of Ownby, who goes to ground.
I agree with you there. Absolutely the right call.
Crowd right behind the goal doesn't concur. Jimenez. Louisville trying to splice this New York defense with a curling effort. That's incredible What a goal by Niall McCabe! Wow!
The reaction of Paco Craig says it all. That was something special to celebrate. It seems so simple. Lou City keeping the ball alive, second phase of play. Yep, that was a special goal. McCabe goes over to get the plaudits of his teammates. Pick that one out. Just drops his right shoulder, creates a little angle, creates a little space, and then thumps his right foot through the back of the ball. Wonderful effort from McCabe.
That goal presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. The Kentucky Lottery. I mean, this is one of the more staggering turnarounds I've seen watching Louisville City over the last half decade. Wow. And if current results hold, Tampa Bay is up 3-0. Nashville is leading in their game. Nashville would be top of the East going into Sunday when Indy plays their next match. Beg your pardon, they played last night and fell to Birmingham. Beg your pardon. Indy would have 2 games in hand. It would be a 3-way tie for second and Nashville in first. The East is a dumpster fire right now for people trying to figure out where to travel for the playoffs in a month.
The only thing we know for sure is the current top 4 are in the playoffs. We just have no idea where they're going to be.
Stroud, Bezecourt. Cracks across toward Mines, cleared by Craig, further to Lemma, overrun by Ownby, but kept now. Sherry on the move, poked off his foot.
John Hackworth said this would be a 90-minute chess match. If chess matches were all like this, everybody would be playing the board game.
Boateng goes into the book, yellow card.
He's doing pretty good with the old yellow cards. He got one Wednesday. First, like a minute into the game,
Seriously,
I think,
like
off the bench.
That's right.
This one, though, is presented by Four Roses Bourbon as he just runs over the back. John Wolyniec going to the bench for the third and last time. Mines coming out. And quiet. There's Mines.
So comes on, a native of Harrison, New Jersey, a town where the Red Bulls built that incredible venue. Red Bull Arena is most everybody's idea of a soccer stadium well built. That sub is brought to you by MHS Global. This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Game On Mouthguards.
Handball there from McCabe.
Marceau made his debut less than a month ago against Swope Park. And I would imagine this may be the game where you find a few minutes for Paolo Del Piccolo to get back in the lineup. I don't think they thought this one would quite spin out of control the way it has.
Feels like there's more goals in this yet from both teams, to be honest with you.
My poor throat can't handle it. Well, the guy you really feel bad for is the goalkeeper opposite Chris Hubbard. Rashid Nuhu gave up 5 goals in 3 starts. Hasn't started in a month. As Hubbard, it's evident he didn't hit that the way he wanted, but Nuhu's given up 5 tonight, including a couple off deflections. And yet, no one's quite writing Red Bulls off yet. Ownby, Rasmussen. Ownby charging forward, got by Boateng, and looked across. Now it's Ownby. Nuhu ball squirting toward the line, and he holds on.
Well, I was just about to say that he's conceded 5 and hasn't really had a save to talk about. Nuhu, he does now. That was a wonderful save. Down to his right and up quickly to corral the rebound. Really wonderfully done there by the goalkeeper. He's had some good moments in this game, coming out early and quickly off of his line to clear dangerous attacking moments for Lou City. As Hopino, I believe, is going to get a yellow card. Oh, no, that's on Stroud. He can't believe it. Hopino had left his feet on the slide tackle.
Ibrahim Sagaya, the lead assistant on the Red Bull 2 bench, is arguing Stroud's case. It's a 4 roses bourbon yellow card.
The referee is showing 4 roses yellow card to New York's number 50, Jared Stroud.
Well, that appeared to be obvious to be on Stroud in real time, but let's take a look here. Kofi's got his arms aside. It looked like he, yeah, there's the card. The referee sort of seemed to show that to the wrong guy. It's Kofi who goes into the book for a yellow.
Which is still surprising to me, considering it was Hopino that left his feet. But the referee, from his angle, thought that Kofi was more at fault than Hopino was. So. Stroud certainly couldn't believe that, one, the whistle had blown, and 2, the yellow card was coming out, and it was on one of his teammates.
We read the tea leaves all wrong.
It was really a quiet second half.
Yeah, we should have trusted our eyes. Here's Kofi, top 10 player in college soccer last year. Red Bulls actually acquired his homegrown rights from DC United. Played 3 years at Virginia, who probably have a lot of fans today disheartened by the football team's current result. Of course, their women's soccer program now under Steve Swanson is #1 in the country after Stanford and North Carolina both got toppled last week. Good Lord, the ACC is frightening. The men and the women.
It is,
yeah.
And it's amazing that they're able to do it each and every year.
But the women's NCAA tournament had 10 ACC programs in it last year. It's an all-time record. You can miss your conference tournament and still be a top team in the country and make the NCAA tournament in the ACC. I mean, that's nuts.
And the league also understands how strong they are, because they've reduced the number of teams in the ACC tournament to give more teams a better chance in the NCAA playoffs to go further, rather than having several rounds of championship play in the tournament play in the league.
That's so with the pressure. Isn't it amazing? The tournament committee sitting there and they look down and they go, no, they didn't make the ACC tournament. Means they didn't lose in the ACC tournament. Put them in, you know? It is something else. And of course, U of L men won the ACC title last year as Louisville City invaded their stadium and won the USL Championship final against Didier Drogba's Phoenix Rising. Phoenix now 20 straight wins. They play at Fresno tonight. USL Cup will most certainly go through there this year. McMahon crossing, caught by Nuhu.
Midfielders coming in. Rasmussen and Matsosa with that. Good concentration from the goalkeeper to get that cross corralled safely there. It was a lovely ball clipped in from McMahon.
Hammered from distance, sends a sprawling Hubbard to the side. Of course, Louisville hosting playoff games in the future. It's going to come at their gorgeous home venue. You visit LouCity.com to check out the virtual stadium tour and then scope out the view from every seat at the brand new Lynn Family Stadium. And then just call 502 Lou City and get your tickets. Stroud. Bezikor cross along the penalty spot. It's put in. Omar Sow from Harrison to Louisville and on the score sheet. Giant moment for a man who bleeds red.
Arriving late in the penalty box, so times his run to perfection. Stroud waiting for Bezikor to develop the run. Jorgensen goes across the face of the goal to the near post, taking Craig and Tosh with him. That allows So to come in at the back post and deliver the right-footed shot beyond Hubbard. Good movement there.
Hopino has a goal already. And that'll go spinning. Nuhu fell down. Jimenez lifting, looking for the header of Ombi. That is career goal number 1 in the pro ranks for Omar So in his second ever appearance. Guy who scored 89 times for Harrison High School, and John Hackworth looks on with his side having now allowed New York somewhat back into this game.
We've seen some special goals in this game. McCabe is going to be the headliner. But the first goal for Lou City and the third for New York Red Bulls too. They do really good team goals. Quick passing, beautiful movement. And then special finishes on the end of it to put it into the back of the net. Really set up by the movement of...
Here he goes again. Rebound is wide by Bezikor. Giant rebound parried down by Hubbard.
This was a good save by the goalkeeper. It comes quickly to Bezikor. So just drops his shoulder, throws his left foot through the back of the ball. Quickly down was the goalkeeper, anticipating the rebound to go past him into the back of the net, but came quickly to the captain. He couldn't turn it on frame. Another wake-up call for the home team that Red Bulls 2 are not content to go away with nothing from this game. They want at least a point. They would love 3. They want to find a way to stay at the top of the standings.
Foul, referee allowed it to play on, but Ombi was brought down. And a free kick for Louisville.
Hackworth is tempted to go to his bench yet.
waited and waited. Free kick here for Louisville. Striding in, it'll dip right into Nuhu.
Nice concentration from the goalkeeper. Dipping effort. Here's McCabe with the shot.
Why not, right?
He's already proved he can hit it from there.
Speaking of Niall McCabe, this is one of the rare nights where this read may actually have nothing to do with him. Fans can head to Twitter to vote for tonight's Dr. Mark Lynn & Associates VisionWorks Man of the Match. Poll open the next 15 minutes. You vote now. Twitter.com/LouCityFC. Such a good goal, but Matt Soso with the 2 goals that provided the separation. It's really hard to imagine him not getting it. McCabe will be in the conversation. Ownby drew the foul.
I'd say Matt Sosa, Hopino, and McCabe will certainly be in that conversation. Ownby continues to be active, draws the attention of 4 players, and how dangerous he can be. It's good to see him back to health. Frustrating year last year dealing with injury. Has done so again this season.
Jimenez headed down, and that is cracked out of play. You're just a little bit of pressure, Omar So.
If in doubt, kick it out. So didn't want to make a mistake, and now allows his team to regather their wits defensively.
Lifted over the top. Craig thought he had poked that through.
Again, Red Bulls 2, falling asleep off of the set piece, almost undone by the short corner. The goalkeeper comes to the rescue once more.
Slope Park up 2-0 against Charlotte elsewhere in the East. That could be the final dagger for Charlotte Independence, who looked like they were really able to turn it around mid-season, and it's just gotten away from them again. Ton of action on ESPN Plus tonight. This one's had the most action, no doubt about it. The Rowdies up 4-0 against Bethlehem. Game just out of halftime. Jimenez. Nashville and Pittsburgh are on level terms, 0-0, 36 minutes, and that'll ring wide. So looking at the standings now, these are up to date. Red Bulls, Indy, and Tampa Bay, if current results hold, all level 56 points, top of the East. And Nashville, if the draw holds, would be at 55. Louisville, with this result, would move into 6th. Put them 5 points off the pace for a home playoff game and avoid the first round. If the playoffs were to start today with the current results, it would be Rowdies Louisville in the Eastern Conference quarterfinal, and New York would await to see the winner of the preliminary round.
North Carolina play tomorrow, so they will have the opportunity to get back into 6th with a win. Certainly is muddy waters in the Eastern Conference. And the West, Phoenix have pretty much run away and hidden from everybody.
They can seal that deal with the right series of results, I do believe, and they're looking for a blackjack, 21 consecutive wins. It's an unparalleled streak in American soccer. Slid away from Hopino, but he's back to his feet. And now a sliding challenge and a free kick won by Louisville. Hopino, I think, is a little surprised that it's coming back to the earlier point.
Well, I would have been surprised if Kilwine would have been called for a foul. That, to me, looked like a good sliding tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a good sliding tackle from a big central defender, and referee calls it back to something that he saw prior to that effort from Kilwine.
So it had been advantage. And Jimenez strikes. And here comes Tolkien. This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And Ownby will give chase to this and line up Kilwine in the crosshairs. Ownby pushed off, levels it off. Rasmussen. My gosh, that found the concourse.
That was not his Sunday best from Rasmussen. Somehow, some way, Ownby kept that ball alive, finds it. No, I want it.
There's an honor among thieves right now.
Everybody just wants to touch it before it comes back to the pitch.
If that ball came to me in the concourse, I've got news for you. I'm not quite as kind.
You think you could move fast enough to get away with it, though?
Show me the security guard.
You know, there's a way you can get your own select ball, though.
That's right. With, of course, Select being the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the top leagues in the world. Ownby trying to work this off the hop, and Boateng serves it into the bleachers.
Good concentration there with Kilwine and Boateng. Difficult bouncing ball to deal with. And John Hackworth finally going to the bench.
George Davis IV coming on. That's enough for Magnus Rasmussen, who is looking for a goal late on in this performance. Crowd applauds. Sub brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond. You and I were asking about George Davis IV and how he's taken to this role off the bench. And, you know, even if he might disagree with it, I think if you're playing as a professional, you think you should be starting, or else you probably wouldn't be in the gig. But George Davis IV has understood that role, managed to run with it, and ultimately one of the leaders who last year helped guide Louisville through their coaching change as part of the triumvirate, using a little bit of experience from that. An unnamed player maybe not appreciating a move here or there that the triumvirate had to make. But ultimately, once you explain that to somebody and you've been through that as a coach, maybe it's a little easier to take the other way.
Absolutely seeing both sides of the coin. The other thing, John Hackworth, though, is opening up front with his players.
Corner New York, header is to Hubbard.
And explains reasons why. And if the reasons are valid, it makes it a lot easier for you as the player to accept the decision. And I go back to Pat McMahon. He accepted the decision. He wasn't getting the playing time, but just put his head down, nose to the grindstone, and kept working. He was professional.
Oh my gosh, Ownby got to that.
Fantastic clearance, fantastic stick-to-itiveness from Ownby.
Popino whips the cross, and on 22 almost got his just desserts. He heads that wide.
Almost made John Hackworth look like a genius on this. Again, Popino, sneaky quick, wonderful first touch, driven ball across. And Davis IV will be disappointed this one goes wide. Perhaps if he had a few more seconds on the pitch, it would have been on target. Difficult when it's your first touch of the ball.
Lemma. For Jimenez. Still has a change they can make here. They have two left, actually. One wonders if they're going to dig into that here in the latter minutes. Give somebody a run. New York is still piling on pressure. This two-goal deficit still within their reach.
I wonder whether maybe Bucky Charm comes off the bench. Of course, you got Luke Spencer, who can hold things up top.
If you're just trying to see this game out. You do have 3 defenders available. 3 more defensive substitutes you can make. All whittles out to Hubbard. Jorgensen was caught maybe a bit flat-footed. We've got Pay. And Sean Francis, the outside back, available. And then Paolo Del Piccolo, the holding midfielder, could come on and provide a bit of cover as well.
And if healthy, Del Piccolo would be the natural selection to come in and take Sosa off and bring in the normal captain for the team to see things out. But the pace of this game may be a big ask for Del Piccolo to come in, recovering from injury.
John Hackworth said he's about 85% right now. And it may not get all that much better here at the end of the year.
He also said his 85% is better than a lot of players. 100%. Looks like defensively, New City have gone to playing with a 4-1-4-1, leaving Omby up top on his own.
McMahon lifts it up. Hopino watches it go out. If you're in the Louisville area, meet up with your fellow City fans tonight. Butchertown Social for the official Lou City after party. Drink specials all night. Keep game day alive at Butchertown Social after the game.
If the result holds, it'll be one heck of a night.
Sliced forward, a tap by Ownby, and Nuhu at the edge of his penalty area. With the pace of this game, I wonder if John Hackworth really wants to use either sub at this stage. Cross, not the best from Craig. Bezecourt.
Slow to get up as Bezecourt just ran into Sean Tosh. No foul there. Right decision by the official. So the Red Bulls 2 coaches all agree with my assessment, but I agree with the head referee there that there was no foul on Tosh.
Rookie defender knocks it forward, Boateng or McSherry. And slipped ahead for Jorgensen. Ownby. Nuhu slipped it right under the feet of Ownby.
Ownby, good work. Almost forced the error from the goalkeeper. John Hackworth going to the bench again. Luke Spencer at the scorer's table alongside the 4th official, waiting for a stoppage to come in. Maybe Ownby that comes out. He's put in a really good shift tonight. Again, a frustrating night for the number 10. Nothing to show for it as far as an assist or a goal, but make no mistake, his presence has caused lots of problems for Red Bulls 2's defenders.
It's Stroud. Tolkien. Sherry for Bezecourt. Matt Soso, and here comes Louisville. Ownby staring down Matsoso down the middle of the field, but will reverse. Louisville all of a sudden on fire. They have lost 4 games in the last 2 months of the season over the last 4 years combined. And they are hot fire at present. Luke Spencer comes on, end of the night for Brian Ownby, as you previously intimated.
Really good shift from Ownby. never stopped running, caused lots of problems. Done a really good job there. And that substitution is brought to you by M&HS Global as they go above and beyond.
Kofi, there's some dramatic late fireworks left in this game.
John Wolyniec went to his bench at halftime, brought on McSherry, brought on Boateng, tried to send his outside backs forward. Tolkien on the left, McSherry on the right, but after the first 10 minutes of this second half, we really haven't spoken too much of those two players going forward. Well, here is McSherry on the ball in the penalty box.
And driving further, and Craig is grabbing the lower back. When he slid down, he immediately knew something was wrong. Craig indicate he just needs a moment. This could throw a wrench into the potential sub.
I'm surprised he needs a moment. He's done a really hard work because of this game being end-to-end, and it's kind of painful when you have McSherry land on your back like that.
Corner for New York, 3 minutes of Sullivan University stoppage time. The goal here opens the door for Red Bulls 2. Arriving Tolkien. And there goes Hopino with his electric speed. Levels it across. George Davis, the fourth. George Davis knew who. Slipping and sliding onto the ball and launches it upfield with picture-perfect position. Paulo Del Piccolo may not get into this game at this current rate. He's waiting to come on. Tolkien drives. Well, this will be as good a time as any if it gets out. He played the first 2 games this year, then he was out for 2.5 months. He returned for 6 more, missed another 2.5 months. And his first appearance since the first week of July. Louisville's captain returns, and the crowd erupts. Sub brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond. And the Louisville native, his friends often find their way out to the stadium to watch him play. A 2-time title winner as the captain for Louisville City is finally back. He'll get his first taste of action here in months.
Times it's been a struggle, trying to get the job done without Del Piccolo. John Hackworth and his team finally figured out how to play without number 36. And they will only be stronger if he's able to remain healthy down the stretch and into the playoffs, and then be at his best. Great to see him back.
Del Piccolo pressuring Kofi. Slipped ahead, Tolkien. Tolkien trying to cut it back.
Good work there from Matt Sosa, I think, to get back defensively. Deflected out for the corner kick.
This is likely academic. Cross. Knocked away, settled, McSherry. Up and over, Louisville City grabbed the Bulls by the horns. Trail inside 20 minutes and respond with a remarkable performance. 5 goals to 3, Louisville knocks off the top team in the East and throws the very top of the table into complete turmoil with under a month to play in the regular season.
Well, it was a wonderful response for Lou City FC. Going down the goal, responded quickly. John Hackworth will be thrilled with this result. Some wonderful goals from both teams. Good movement on a couple of the goals as well. And it wasn't the game that I expected. I thought it'd be a more cagey affair. I think John Hackworth thought it would be as well, but it opened up. And that man there, Napo Matsoso, with 2 goals tonight, as your vision works, man of the match. And just a great response for Lou City going down that goal, and Matsoso opportunistic strikes on the second goal of the game to give his team the lead, and they were able to not look back.
And Niall McCabe scored Louisville's probably best goal of the season. It was a real voice cracker. 5-3 Louisville. We'll wrap this one up when we return.
At Dr. Mark Leonard Associates, I focus on taking care of my family, but I also focus on taking care of your family. We firmly believe that you've got to give back. Our primary goal is to do what's right for the patient. If that means glasses, contacts, or treating an eye condition, we will be sure you get the care that you need. We want to take care of you the same way we take care of all our family. This is our family. And here at Dr. Mark Linden Associates, we're focused on your family, the community, and most importantly, your vision.
For the past 42 years, and with over 28 million sold, more people have put their hard-earned money on a Ford F-Series truck than any other pickup in America. Yeah, I'd say that's money well spent. It's Ford Truck Month, America. Time to join the stampede.
Now during Truck Month, get $10,000 in total savings on a new F-150. America's best-selling truck, 42 years straight.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win. We have recovered billions in settlements and verdicts over the years. We have never taken a fee unless we've won the case. Our service is free unless we recover for you. You can hire the largest personal injury law firm in the world as your personal lawyer for free unless and until we recover for you. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Whether it's time to get to work or to your weekend, make sure it's all quality time. Get to Nissan Truck Month and save big on a J.D. Power award-winning truck, including Titan, best in quality, and Frontier, best in dependability. Both with the tech you want and the quality you need. Hurry in to Nissan Truck Month today. Save up to $11,319 on Titan. And for a limited time, get the Midnight Edition package at no extra charge.
Welcome back. Conversation between McSherry and Hopino. And wouldn't you know it, both Princeton alums about 10 years apart. And it is McCabe with the scorched earth kind of goal that helps lead Louisville to a 5-3 win. Joined by Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts, post-game highlights. Things were looking pretty rosy for the red side 20 minutes in.
Great work from Stroud, driving down to the byline, plays it across. Craig deflects it onto the foot of Bezencourt. He knows what to do with it with the left peg, and so does Jimenez with his left foot as he puts it in for the tying goal barely 3 minutes after the New Rock Red Bulls 2 had scored. And then it was Matsoso, 2 on the trot, responding quickly there. Credit to the referee, allowing the teams to play. And then Stroud, after Tosha being called for a handball, calmly puts the penalty kick away. And then Hopino, he was not done in the first half. Neither was Lou City FC as he puts his effort in on a great transitional goal there. And then this was probably the pick of the bunch. Great individual effort from McCabe. Thumps the ball into the back of the net. Nothing the goalkeeper could do about this but pick it out of his own goal there. McCabe, beautifully done with the right leg as he just drops the shoulder, finds the angle, finds the space. And then a good goal here for the third of the night. So as the substitute comes on, movement from Jorgensen, takes defenders away as Bezencourt plays the ball across, and so comes in late and delivers what was going to be the third goal of the night for the visitors and made things interesting down the stretch. Of course, that's saying that it wasn't interesting for the first 80 minutes or so prior to that.
Today's stats and facts delivered by Liquor Barn. They're now delivering. Download the Liquor Barn app or order online today, liquorbarn.com. And while Red Bull actually possesses the ball more, you think about the way they play, it's not always best for them.
It isn't, and really you think that coming into this game you'd expect the statistics to be on the other side of the ledger, and it's almost as if John Hackworth took a page out of John Wolonik's book there, and that's the way that Lou City played on the transition, on the counter, made Red Bulls 2 pay.
Let's take a look at our Toyota move of the match. Toyota, let's go places. It's worth watching again.
Well, that ball went someplace into the back of the net. It's a wonderful goal. Just drops the shoulder, creates the angle, creates the space, and that's one that you dream about. And you can tell by the reaction of the crowd and the reaction of his fellow players, that's a special goal and a special moment for McCabe. That felt pretty sweet coming off that right boot.
Matt, I think it made your voice crack. Fresno and Phoenix tonight. Phoenix, 20 straight wins. Fresno battling for second in the West behind them. That kicks off 10:30 Eastern time. It's available on ESPN Plus. For Red Bull, they're next against Charleston at home. For Louisville, they take on Tampa Bay. Lucky M. Kosana is back at Slugger Field next Saturday night. Wow, oh wow. I mean, this thing was all over the place. You tune in 20 minutes late, you're thinking, uh-oh. You tune in 45 minutes late, you're celebrating as a Lou City fan. For our wonderful Vista WorldLink team, producer Abe Ponte, director Gage Tillotson, and Manny Simone, Matt Stubbington alongside Mike Watts saying, wow, McCabe and Louisville dominate. 5-3 winners. Thanks for watching and good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.